Skincare. I am the owner of Luxecharisse Skincare. I have my best friend co-hosting with me today. You can go ahead and introduce yourself.
I'm Latonda.
Oh, okay. Wow, that's a lot. Anyway, thank you for that long introduction.
It was so long.
Oh, it was very long. This is my
Latonda.
best friend, like I said. Me and her have been best friends for like 10 years. We met at church singing, and it was just like immediate. You know, it's just a vibe.
It was immediate.
Our main focus today, we're going to talk about my amazing products, of course, and then we're going to talk about a little bit of self-care stuff, just as women, Black women especially. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So I started my business in 2020 when everything had shut down, and I have very sensitive skin, so I wanted to make my own products. And then it just kind of spiraled into like a whole situation, a whole business. And, you know, it really became, of course, skin based, but also like fragrance based, because our fragrances are just like
everything.
Top notch. You know
It's
what I'm
everything.
saying? Hit you up. Okay.
Okay.
So I have my shower oil here, my body oil that is just, this is one of my best sellers, as well as the body butter. So we're gonna go into that
Top tier.
It's
and I'm not just saying that because
she's one of my
best
top
friend.
customers.
Top
so
tier.
you know, she's a best friend, but also, and she, you know what? One thing I love, bestie, because you know everybody thinks, you know, sometimes you have like friends and family customers and stuff like that. They'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna text her. I'm just gonna no. She get on the site.
Yeah.
Luxecharisse.com. She orders. She waits for the pickup email.
I do.
Okay. And I love
I
that.
do. It's a business.
All right. What are you choosing? Cashmere or Land of Milk and Honey?
Cashmere. It's a
You
cashmere
love
all
cashmere.
day. Yes. It's a cashmere all day.
You know, Jesse loves Land of Milk and Honey.
I know. I like land of milk and honey.
Help
honey.
her.
Land of
Help
milk
her.
and honey.
Get it out.
Honey. It's such a natural base. Like, it's so smooth.
It is.
And I love it. But if I have to pick,
If you got to choose
it's
one,
going to
it
be
gotta
cashmere, baby.
Same, sis.
It's the vanilla notes.
It got to be cashmere.
It's going to be.
For me.
Rose gold or blackberry cobbler?
Rose gold. Like, no hands down. Y'all, rose gold is my man's favorite scent. Just don't say it like that. Anytime I get it on, it's just like, he just don't know how to act. It's just a known fact, okay? I get many compliments everywhere, but when I have it on, he starts stiffing my neck and his eyes start rolling behind his head. I'll be like, exactly. Yeah, it makes sense. All right. White tea, fresh pear, or fresh cotton? Yeah. This is the only one that's like a battle of the ones that are similar.
Yeah, because they are similar.
They are.
It depends on what I want to give that day in that moment.
Yep.
Fresh cotton, if I want to just say clean.
Yeah.
You know, just clean.
Fresh, yeah.
It's so, if you smell it, you'll know that. It's
Yes.
just so clean. Now, white tea, fresh pear, it takes me like to a spa for me. And it's a clean smell
That
too.
is a kind of a
but
spa
it gives me, especially because she also has, the scrub that you were making.
It's
Scrub.
back.
Okay, I'm like, she also has scrub. I didn't want to say that, and then people like, oh my God, I can't get the scrub.
Yeah.
You know, but yes.
Some people have favorites in like different products. So they have like a favorite scent in the oil and then a favorite scent in the body butter. Like, my favorite oils, I think it's cashmere, and I put a little drop of fresh cotton in there. Yeah. It just amplifies.
I've never done that. With
I think I mixed fresh cotton and cashmere for you before.
You done? I did mix it for you. You mixed it for me. But yes.
But the soap, when I used to do soap, fresh cotton was my favorite soap.
Definitely.
Body butter.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I love Latonda McGawion honey body butter.
Yeah.
It just smells like a baby for me.
It's just.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It was my turn, but that's all right.
My bad. Go ahead.
That's my best friend. Okay.
Yeah.
Shower oil or body butter?
Oh my God. It used to be body butter, like, for real. I think when it gets warmer outside, that oil is just kind of like easy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
you don't
agree.
be feeling like doing all that.
I
like to
agree.
mix both, but if I just got a quick shower and I got to go, oil.
Yeah. It's for me, if it's quick shower, I'm gonna do body butter.
Really?
Yeah. The oil, I love the oil. I could do that all the time.
Yeah, the oil's not going to moisturize as much as when you put that
That's
shea
what I'm saying.
butter
If I
on.
gotta do it quick, it's gonna be the body butter quickly.
I mean, I
like both
butter.
together.
The body butter is my number one. Like,
Look
for
here.
the last 5 years, that's the number one product. But these oils are coming right up under it.
Look here.
Like, for real. Some people just only buy the oil. Some people only buy the body butter. So, but get it all together. And I'm not just saying that. I'm just saying because it's just.
But do.
It makes a difference. Like I'm not saying it as the creator. When you take your time and you do the whole system, when you do the body butter, when you do the oil, the body butter, the scrub, and you put it all together.
Yes. It's just.
You will see the difference. And it's not on no, you'll see the difference in 30 days. No. You're going to see the difference in 3 minutes.
Immediately.
Okay? Immediately. When you use everything together, like one product on its own is good, but to me, it's just like using shampoo and no conditioner. Right. Like you got to have all of it together.
You got to have it all.
And when you put it all together and you scrub on your leg and then you put I promise you, feel your leg or your arm after you do the scrub and then the oil and the butter and then follow up and put the oil on top. You're going to see the difference.
It's the softness.
So one of the reasons or one thing I discovered after creating this line is how much you can just incorporate so much just self-care into not just my product, but just in general, when you're taking your time and you're putting, just to me, it's like, it's almost spiritual. And I said that before, because sometimes when I'm putting on stuff, depending on the morning I'm like putting it on, but I'm praying over myself, praying over my day, over my body. And I feel like people think that self-care has to be expensive or it has to be some long drawn out spa day where you spend $1,000. No. If you don't have that, if you don't have either the resources, the time, because a lot of people have children and businesses and work, set aside that little time and say, okay, I'm going to use the time I have, whether it be, I have an extra 30 minutes to take a bath today.
But that's
and make it special. Light you a candle, take your bath, and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? It don't have to be, again, spending a lot of money. I'm going to ask you, when's the last time that you did something solely for yourself?
Solely for me? Well, solely for me. I'm going to say this. So, actually, my husband did. He booked me a hotel out of nowhere just to have a me time for myself because I think he had been out of town that week, whatever. So I had spent most of the time with the kids, and he came back, and he booked me a room for myself for a couple of days. And he was like, "Don't worry about anything." I was like, "Thank you." So for me, and it was everything, just the peace and the quiet. You
don't have nobody calling you, name, asking for stuff,
right? And I love taking care of my family. I do. I love them. Thank God for them. But I also enjoy that time to myself,
People don't realize, too, I promise you, like, within these 5 years, and especially, so during 2020, everything shut down, of course. Y'all know, most of us had to go home. I was working at a salon doing hair at that time. And, of course, we were some of the first people to shut down because we're so close contact with everybody doing their hair and makeup and constantly in their faces. So that means a lot of us, our husbands were home, too. Our kids were home. Like, when you're used to your life going one way and you're used to having, healthy time away from your children.
Yes.
Away from your husband and your wife. I don't
healthy
care what
time.
nobody
like
say.
That.
Healthy time.
Healthy time. I
people
like
just
that.
think, you don't want to spend time. No, I want to. You already know we talk about this all the time. We're very balanced individuals. I do not like when my life gets unbalanced. I can feel it in my body. I'm spiraling and that means if I'm spending too much time at church, or too much time at home, and I don't have no time to do nothing for me, or too much time within my business. I am not one of those people that's like, I'm just about to be gung ho about this, and that's all. No, I know that I have other titles. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I own a business, I do, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to be able to kind of separate myself evenly. So healthy time means I should be able to go and I can have lunch by myself. And I'm not gonna cry about it. You can see, if y'all see me outside having lunch, trust me, I'm still very happily married. Okay. But I want to enjoy you know what I'm saying? A little quesadilla by myself sometimes. And it should be okay.
And that's okay.
But, like, why not? But when things shut down, we all were just forced to kind of be together 24/7. And although we had some wonderful, like 2020 was slick kind of.
We did.
I mean, I don't want to sound insensitive when I say it was kind of good.
It was.
But you know what I mean.
We had to changed the way that we planned our time together too. That's even you and I, because we were not around each other all the time. We were so used to being around each other at least
now that was sad.
3, 4 or more times per week, because we sing together. We would even walk together, workouts and different stuff. But we had to plan our time in an effective way, but also to be careful. And we had some good times.
We did. Y'all, we had met, me, her, and my sister, our first little meeting after, during COVID. We literally had pulled up into a school parking lot. And we had all had our trucks, and we sat in the back of our trucks. We popped our trunks, and we was just sitting there talking. Like, it was so sad. We couldn't hug each other, and it was awful. But at the same time, you will find. So when I said you'll make time and you'll find a way to do self-care and different stuff like that. When it comes to when the world shifts, are you going to be able to shift with it, or are you going to just lay there and die? Because a lot of people dealt with a lot of depression and things like that during that time, and understandably so, especially for those who did not have a family to. So I'm thankful that I had my family in house, but also we went from years of my husband being at work from this time to this time, Ari being at school from this time to this time. I'm able to do this at home. I'm able to have a little time. And when we were in Q's been at home,
ever since then.
Love you, babe. My God. When are you going back? But anyways, he been at home since then. So it's like, I be like, babe, what day? I'm like, babe, what day is you going? What day is you going to work?
Are you going in today?
I feel like I'm more productive when he's not at home. So because of that, now I have
same way too.
We got to carve out time.
Me and Charisse have had that conversation.
Yeah.
Because I feel like when he's home, sometimes I don't do anything. I'm not as productive.
I am not productive when he's
I'd rather you be at work. I love you.
I'm not.
I love you.
And then
but I want you to
he's
be
home,
at work.
I'm bothering. I'm big on his
and they don't even be and they don't be doing anything. They're just working.
Yes.
But why are you here?
He knows I'm going there and be like, babe, what are you doing? He be looking at me like, what?
Like, what do you want?
Paying the mortgage. Like, what?
We love y'all. I do. Love
you, babe. But you gotta have that time. Okay. Yes. What tools and resources do you use to support your mental health? And you can do the next one.
Number 1, Jesus.
Mighty God,
no, for real.
Peace.
Number 1.
Yeah.
That is essential to me for my mental health. Because I come from a military family, my husband, and there was times when I was overseas, our first base, it was just me and God, because there were times that he was not there. Now, mind you, I have a big family, but I could not just go to my mom, go to my sisters, I go to my brother. So I had to keep my mental then, and that's when I was like 18. But that taught me that time is also important to pray and have that time before I start getting my hands busy with everything else. So that helps my mind for me. Yep. I ain't mean to go that deep, but that's for real. Like, for real.
Because that was one of my problems. Sometimes I would use busyness as a way of escape, or just, when you're so busy sometimes you don't stop and realize, like, how did I get here? And I was literally talking to my friend the other day, and I was telling her, I said, there was a period of time after I had Aria, and I think she was 2, and we were in an apartment, and I looked around, and I was like, I feel like every mom has this moment. Because you have a baby, your body's already going through stress. Your mind, people don't realize, like, you don't really get your mind back until like a year after you have a child.
Maybe 2.
Mine took 2. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking around and I'm looking at my apartment and I'm like, I think Q was at work, and I was like, Ari was like, she's walking. I'm like, when did I have a child? Yeah. When did I get married? Yeah. When did this happen? And because you're just going through life, like, what I'm saying? Like, you breastfeed, and then you got to do this. Like, I got married. I left my mama's house. I got married. I had like, it was so many back-to-back things. I had a child and got married. Made that funny. I wonder if like, she was not married when she had our
That's all right.
Okay. But anyway.
That's okay.
But I'm in the house, and I'm just like, when did this happen? Like, I'm literally like, I have just been kind of being mom and just walking through this life, just kind of going through the motions. And then I had stopped, and it's almost like I gained consciousness. Like I had lost consciousness for 2 years. Yeah. Mind you, I'm still active mom. I'm still there. But was I truly mentally present? I don't think so. Because like I said, I had that moment where I was like, when did I? And mind you, I'm young. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm really a mom now. Like, I still had that moment where I'm like, I'm an adult. And I'm a whole grown woman. And I'm like, dang, I'm really grown. I'm grown for real. Like, it's crazy to me because sometimes you just going through life, you don't realize.
I think about that all the time.
What's happening.
Because, like one of the biggest changes in my life is Zaria, my oldest. She's 20 years old. Oh, she's in college. We have 3, but she's 20, and it's like my first baby. It's crazy, and time can go by so fast.
It does,
and it's important, like you said, for us to take care of ourselves mentally in so many ways, to be the best you for everybody, and not just for everybody, but for yourself.
Yep.
Because for me, I want to be the best me for me, not perfect, but just the best me that I can be for myself.
And then you'll realize too, like I realized that I was not doing a good job of self-regulating. And then when you become a parent and you see people don't realize you're a parent, yes, you're married now, yes. You still have your own struggles and your own mental challenges. You still have your own personal spiritual battles.
Oh my God.
And then it helped me to realize, like, sometimes I think about it, my mom got 4. And I'm like, my mom was also in her 20s and 30s, still trying to figure out who she was, navigating through life, while having to raise another human to be stable. When you ain't even all the way stable. You still like, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, hey, baby, come here. You know what I'm saying? Like, you a mom, but you don't know what you're doing fully, and you're just literally just going through.
It's a learning process.
It is, and it's wild to think that we are raising actual human beings. Like, that's another, like, moment of consciousness when you realize, wow, I'm really responsible for a whole human on this earth. And then you start to see, I realized, and me and you was friends by then, I was in my early 20s. I was like, if I don't get some type of normalcy in balancing and having some time outside of my home and outside of being a mom, and that's self-care to me as well.
Yeah, it is.
I'm like, I'm going to lose it.
Yeah.
We always talk about when we go on our girls' trips or whatever, we always say that we're able to come back and be better moms, better wives. Yeah. Because, because we didn't have to be for that moment.
We didn't have to for 2 days at least.
Yes.
I don't have to be anything but Tonda. Yep. I have to be me. I don't have to be mommy. I don't have to be wife. I don't even have to be daughter like that.
Yep.
I'm with my best friend, with our sisters, shout out to Jessie, and we're just having an amazing time. Having a good time. We're just being ourselves and free.
And I don't even care if we just land in the hotel.
Look at what I say, even if we just land in the hotel.
We'll do something Friday night and Saturday. We are just laying on the bed. We watching whatever's on the hotel TV. We go get us some food. We come back to the room, but we still don't have. I'm not expecting Tom to go get me something to eat. I'm not expecting Jessie to go pick me. Like, we are just able to just simply be. And I always try to tell, like, young moms or just moms in general, it is okay if your child, I would die for my child, but I can't make her my life. Right. Like, there is a certain way of order and how things are supposed to be and how the Bible, goes. God, your husband's supposed to come before. I mean, that's just a fact. Yeah. But there are certain things that I realize as a mom, like, if I am going to be a good mom, I cannot only be a mom. Right. And it's just like when you think about psychiatrists, psychologists, whatever, they also have therapists. They can't just do that and do it for everybody else, and they are not getting, what they need. And I feel like a lot of moms think, and of course, early on, that is your life. I mean, it really is. Like, that's all you really care about in that moment. Like, for real. Because I was just, honey, I'm putting little dresses on. I just wrapped up.
That was
but when that time passes and you realize, I am actually raising a human to have to leave me. And once they do, I can't allow them to take everything with them. And I don't have anything. Like, I'm lost. And that's when you get them parents who, like, you know what I'm saying? They all in their kids' marriages. They ruining that because they don't have
they
themselves.
Don't have anything.
Like,
they don't even know who
get
they
a life.
They don't know who they are anymore.
You have to have a balance of, like, healthily loving your spouse and your child and everything that God gave you, but realize God gave it. He can take it away. You don't own people. You don't own people. You're responsible for you. And you have to be responsible for the time God gives you. And it's healthy to be able to have moments of, sometimes I want to just do this by myself. I don't care if it's just, let me go pray for 30 minutes by myself. Okay. Let me go take a drive.
Yeah.
Anything.
Take a little ride.
Yeah.
Something. Always.
Something.
Okay. Are you saying no when necessary? That's a good one.
It is a good one for me.
That's a good one for you. You've gotten better.
I've gotten so much better.
You've gotten way better than you used to be.
Because I used to be terrible, y'all. Yeah. Like, I didn't really realize I was a people pleaser like that. I think because my personality is not necessarily, like, super meek and mild. However, when it comes to people I love, I'll go above and beyond. Or just people just, you know what I'm saying, in general. I don't have to know you like that. Like, it would be times where I'm tired, exhausted. We done had 2 services or something like that. And somebody's like, hey, can you do this for me? Can you take pictures? Can you do it? And I'll be like, that's fine. And Q would be like, babe, now you just told me how tired you were and how drained you were and how you was about to lose it. If you don't get to sit down, why would you take this on? Like, I would take on a lot. And then I would not only take on stuff, I would take it on and then do it for free. Yeah. Like, I would take time, last minute stuff, outside of what I had already planned. I know I want to go home and lay down on the couch. Like, Sundays, I be trying to go home and lay on the couch after church with my man.
After church nap.
We watch TV.
That after church nap.
And I would still be like, oh, man, I got to get up and do this. And he was like, you really didn't have to. You just said yes and you didn't have to. Yeah. But I feel like I've gotten better over the years. As I get older, I'm starting to figure out ways to say no respectfully. I think the main problem is I really just had this realization is because people will naturally see, like, my face and how I, like, come off. And this is just a thing with me and my sisters, my mom. And they will think I'm mean or they will think I'm one way. And I feel like one way of letting them know I'm not is by saying yes. I can't look mean and say no at the same time. You know what I'm saying? That's how I felt. I felt like I can't look, even though I know what my heart is, but I'm like, I can't look mean or they are perceiving me as mean. Okay.
Yes, their perception.
And then also not be a people, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't say yes, then this is going to confirm their bias. They're going to be like, she act like she couldn't even do this for me. Well, you asked me the day of, all right? You know what I'm saying? But I would still kind of go above and beyond. I think it's because I just generally, and I've done this since I was a child, like in my family, I like making people happy. You know what I'm saying? I like making people laugh, make people happy. And I feel like I was trying to find a way, like I said, to kind of say no and make it sweet. Yeah. But
no,
sometimes
it's just
that's
not.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I had to realize that. Like, I can, it's a tone for everything. Yeah. But even now, like, I will get anxiety. And because I just texted you the other day. When somebody asks me to do something and I can't or don't want to do it, and when I tell you, Tonda, I was already drained, but my body start reacting to the anxiety of I don't want to do this. Yeah, I feel like I should say yes, but my body just physically cannot. I'm tired. I don't want to do it. Yeah, and then I can like text him and say, "Oh, I can't do it," and I'm gonna throw my phone. I swear to God, I don't even want to wait for the reaction.
Are they gonna jump out the phone?
I don't know. But I be feeling so uncomfortable. Like it's almost like you send a risky text, something like that, and you like, let's see if they can respond. But that's how I am when I be like, no, I'm not able to. Yeah. It literally makes my whole, like every atom of my body just be.
But no is
and
also.
And then when they respond back, it's fine.
Yeah, no is also self-care, taking care of yourself.
It is. I think that's the part that I neglect is. Saying no and sticking to that no. Yeah. And not thinking about it for like days to come. I'd be like, are they going to be acting different with me? Are they going to be weird
with
me?
Well, that's their problem. If they act weird.
That is true.
Because if I can't do this right now, that's okay. Mm-hmm. But if they know you too, but everybody doesn't know you, but to know your heart too, and to know that I'm always going to do what I can for you. But right now, I can't, and that's okay. And if that's not okay with you, that's not my problem.
I'm bad with that, especially even with my family. I be like, oh, Lord. And then I'll, like, text the chicken, hey, you good? Like, and I'm just like, just because I can watch your child, you know what I'm saying? No. But it is an anxiety thing. It's like
but I understand.
I don't know. It's like
I get it.
I don't know what it is. I probably need to go to some counseling. That's one of the resources I need to use.
You like doing stuff for people, though. You do.
You know,
I've
calmed down with that, too,
you
though.
You do. But you also like to. That's a love language for you.
It is.
It is. Yeah. But you can still say no. Love yourself enough to say no.
Ooh, okay.
And I still love you.
I'm going to receive that.
And if you decide to feel some type of way, that's your feeling.
I know.
That ain't mine.
Oh, God. And I'm the queen of saying that, but do I really mean it? I'm like, y'all can come feel away. And then I'll be like, I think they feel away.
But no.
I'm like, girl, I think they mad. I'm like, she acting different.
They'll be all right. No, you're acting different because I said no.
Okay. What kind of support do you feel like you need in your life to be at your best self?
To be at my best self. The most support I need a lot of time is emotional support. Because I need you to just be there for me at times, as emotionally. If I'm not okay, and you know this about me, I may not always voice it right away, but you always know. But but I need that emotional support to be at my best, even if I'm not okay. Understand and be there for me, or let's talk through this some type of way, in a healthy emotional way. Because I think sometimes, because I am shy, believe it or not, I am very shy. And sometimes I feel like I don't want to be a bother to people, because I've said it. She's like, "You're not bothering me. You're not bothering me." And so sometimes I feel like I withdraw, and so I need the emotional support sometimes that'll help me get through those moments and be more aware about it, because I know me. But that's one I can say.
And I feel like I kind of got a good gauge on. I feel like we both do. On like what we need in that moment. When you're friends with somebody for so long, or you're around people for so long, you kind of just know, okay, in this moment, you have to learn when they need advice, when they just need an ear, when they just need a hug. Sometimes you don't have words to give them. Right. And that's fine. And she knows, for me, I am an isolator, and I had to learn to stop doing that so much. Now, I still kind of stand by the fact that my misery does not like company.
Hello.
I don't like to bring other people in to, especially if we've all been to some dark places mentally. And when it gets dark for me, I don't want to bring you into the darkness with me. Now, I'm thankful that I know I have people willing to go into the darkness with me, pull me out. But sometimes I want you to just stay in your light. If things are going well for you, I want you to stay there. I don't want to bring you down with my stuff. Right. And it wasn't really until, because there was a time when I was going through it, honey, and she pulled up at my door. And I did not let her in. I did not let her in. I was like, I just can't. And I'm thankful I have a friend who didn't take it personally and leave me like, oh, she acted, and knew it wasn't about you in that moment. Now, even knowing that and knowing her being a good friend and seeing the fact that she pulled up for me and didn't take it personally, that made me love her more, because she understood me and she didn't try to force me into something that I wasn't ready for at that moment. Now, growing and getting older, now I realize that's just how I am is not going to cut it. And with other friendships, I had to realize I have to change this about me, because it is not conducive for this relationship. Like me and one of my other super, super close friends, she had sat me down and told me, I feel like this when you isolate. She's like, I feel like I'm tired of being the one to reach to you all the time. I'm tired of having to constantly try to figure out what's going on. And two, because we're not in physical close proximity like me and you are, it's harder to know kind of what's going on without, you can maybe see me and be like, oh, I can see she going through. But because we aren't. And when she said that to me, it wasn't a matter of me being like, well, that's how I handle. No. Yeah. I immediately was like, oh my God. Like, I didn't realize that by sometimes the way we handle our emotions, even if it's just stuff with us, because you can think about it with your husband. Just think about if the way he handles things sometimes, even if it's a personal battle, the way he handles it can affect you. So I feel like in that moment, I understood what she meant, because I needed to do a better job of, it's not that I didn't trust her or the situation, but again, I like to figure it out. And then I come back out, I'm like, hey, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Yes. But I also realize I have to try people by the fire when it comes to me and my relationships. And if you cannot be there and handle me when I'm in my dark, low place, then I shouldn't have you around me. No. You know what I'm saying? It's very simple.
Right. That's good.
So, who's turn?
It's my turn.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Oh. My bad.
How do you come back to yourself? You kind of just answered
I
that,
did.
though, to be honest.
How do you come back to yourself?
How do I come back to myself?
Do you know what that?
It depends on what it is.
Let's say you just gone through like a depression. How do you kind of climb out of that?
Yeah. I think I told you about this. I think it was during the pandemic or right after, when the kids were able to go back to school. There were times I would pick them up and I would just come home and lay on the couch. Pick them up. I think like I did that for like a month.
Yeah.
And I had to, and there was not necessarily nothing wrong, but in that moment, things had changed so much during the pandemic. Life had changed so much. And I just was in a place where like, how do I move or what do I do? Because we weren't even back at our church anymore at the time. And I've been in church all my life. All my life. Yeah. Like my mom said, cut your teeth in the pews. Yep, all my life. And so to pull myself out, I had to basically tell myself, Tonda, get up.
Yep.
Get up. Get up and stop. And I had to continue to tell myself to do that because it's easy just to lay down.
Yes, it is. Oh my God.
And not doing that. Get up. Go to the gym. After pick up. Now figure it out what it is you're gonna be what are you gonna be fixing for dinner or anything. Here's some work that you gotta get done today. Yep. I literally have to talk to myself, basically. And that worked for me. It did. That's the best thing that I could do. It's like I have to fix me. It's not fixing myself because God will fix me. But I have to want to fix it too. I have to open my mouth. Yeah. That's one thing. I have to open my mouth and say it for me. And that's for somebody too, because some people are like me. I'll sit back, and when you know me, sometimes I won't say anything, but when I do, I do.
I think you don't say this until you feel like you have something important to say, which I think a lot of us can learn from. I have learned from. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, I mean, that's Bible. You talking too much. You talking too much, you know? Shut up.
Like, shut up.
But I am a firm believer, and I guess because I've actually done it, you have to pull yourself out of that depression. And not you in the sense that you are God and you have all power.
Yeah.
No, but God is, I feel like he gives us, like they say, all the ingredients to the cake, and then we say we want cake, but we won't get up and make the cake that he's already given us the ingredients to.
He really does give us all that we need. Yeah.
So I'm like, I've been in dark places where, like you said, you have to to command your mind.
That's it. Yeah.
If you don't command your mind, something else will. You have to say, all right, it's too much. Like there'll be times I'm just scrolling. I'm like, no ma'am. Turn your phone down. Put it up. Get up and do what you're supposed to do, because it's so easy to be comfortable. And comfort can and will lead to depression, because like you said, you come home, get on the couch.
I just got on the
couch.
then
in your mind, you just thinking you tired, but nobody's that tired. And sometimes you're in a depression and you don't realize it until days go by, a week sometimes, people, and you realize you haven't been productive. And your body's really tired, and it's really your mind.
It is.
And you don't even know. Because depression shows up differently for so many people. And people think because they're not crying, or they don't have like a specific event to pinpoint, or some people are like, well, my life isn't as bad as. It doesn't matter anything about that. You can be depressed because you can be in a nice house. Some of the people I know that have heard of or know, whether they committed suicide. Yeah. We talking about rich people. People that have the things we wish we had, time we wish we had, the resources and planes and stuff like that, and that meant nothing. So it doesn't matter about you feeling like, well, I don't have it as bad. When the devil play with your mind,
look here.
he will comb through and go to when you was 5 years old. You can be living a perfect life, honey.
Yes,
you working in ministry. Your children are doing well. Your husband is great. You know what I'm saying? And the devil will dig and uncover something that you didn't even realize was there. Yep. And now you wondering why you fighting these spiritual battles, and you thinking, I'm just laying on the couch.
I'm just laying on the couch.
But kudos to you for realizing, because a lot of people don't get to that stage of realization. A lot of people just lay there, and then your kids have to see you like that. And kids are so perceptive.
They are.
Oh my God.
They are so perceptive. You know, mine are grown and teenagers. They're 20, 16, and
but they still
15. Know. But they know and they're aware. So we still, sometimes people be like, oh, your kids are grown, they don't need you. Or just because they do need me. They actually
I feel like kids
do.
need more of you in certain seasons, and then
in a certain season,
you having to pull from different parts of you to parent at that time.
Right. And if I'm over here just depressed and not dealing with it, I can't even be the mom that I want to be to my children. You know, mama ain't always gonna be there, but there's still things.
But while you're
that
here,
they
you
need
need
me
to be
while
present.
I'm here. Okay, I need to be
present, baby. They know it. Like they can sense
they do.
it. Aria would know just even if I was sad. And it's so funny because Aria, I don't want to crash. But anyways, there would be times where I'm just sitting there. It was a time where I was, oh my God, I think I had just.
Now don't make me cry. I'm talking about my baby.
I was doing my makeup, and I think I was kind of trying to decide stuff with business. And I think it was around the time I was about to close my store or something like that when I had my physical location. And I'm doing my makeup, but on the inside, I'm just at war. Like, I am so sad. And of course, for her, I'm just showing up. You know what I'm saying? And she wrote me a note, and she came in there, and I still have it. I, like, put it in my mirror. And she was young, so her spelling was messed up. And it said, keep going, Mom, and you will get better at everything. Everything. And when I tell you, I looked at her, and she was like, here, Mom. And she hugged me. And, baby, I wept. Because I'm like, again.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, you don't know nothing I'm going through.
Baby knowing.
And she like, keep going, Mom. When I tell you, I'm gonna show you I'm gonna take a picture of it. And when she brought that to me, I'm talking about literally, I'm doing my makeup, but my mind is, I'm just, of course I'm getting ready. I forgot where we was going.
Right.
And when she brought that to me, girl, and there's been so many times since she's been little, where every single time I need something, and it's always little letters or pictures, and like, so last night me and Q was in bed, and she was like, I have something for y'all, and she she made like a little envelope, and she made like a little heart, and she was like, I love y'all forever. And I was like, so it's just crazy to you, like, even when you're in a dark place, how God will send your child.
I love
and you don't have to make your child know.
Right.
Me and you parents, where we're not finna be sitting there. Our kids know we broke. Our
right.
kids know we
they
depressed.
No.
We believe in our children being children.
Yeah.
And them being able to live a life almost unscathed from us. Of course, we can't control that all the time.
Right.
But I feel like God also, we're raising up godly children, and they have discernment.
They do.
And they will know. They can be gone a whole week and you go through hell, and they come home and they're like, Mom, you good? I love you.
Absolutely.
Or it's been times where I'm like, I'm doing a terrible job. Like, I feel like I'm not being a good mom. Every time. Every single time. I put it on my life. The same day I feel like that. And it really be at night when it get like that. And you be like, oh, did I do all I can today? How did I mess up? And Ari be like, I love you, Mom. You're the best mom. I be like, are you sure?
Yeah. Look, I'm telling you, they see us so differently. Even with our flaws. Because Zaria told me the other day, she was like, you just can't do no wrong to me. And I'm like, Z, I'm not perfect.
Oh my
she was
God.
like, you just can't do no wrong. And she's a whole freaking 20-year-old adult.
I love y'all relationship.
I was like, oh my God.
I love it. Like, y'all have a beautiful relationship. And you really know the depths of your relationship. And I'm seeing that now with Aria when they come home and they tell you stuff. And you be like, dang, you really telling me who you like, what boy you like? You telling me she come home like, let me tell you about this girl at school. And I'm just like, that is a privilege to have children who are not they're not fearful of you in a way where they feel like they can't open up. And especially that you have somebody in college and, she could be doing God knows what and not even talking to you and be like, Mom, I'm good. Mom, I'm good. She FaceTime you every 5 seconds.
She always.
Jesus.
She's probably FaceTime me since
literally. Okay. We have, and again, because people didn't know what I was going to be doing when I wrote on Facebook, like, hey, y'all, send in questions about X, Y, and Z. So hopefully now we'll get more questions if, know, we do this again. This is one of the questions that was sent in, and it was, why is it so difficult to form and build new relationships as an adult?
I don't want to call it difficult, but it can be difficult for different people.
It can be.
Because everybody's not the same. You and I met 10 years ago. So during that time, I was 31. So, and you were in your 20s.
24, 23.
Yeah. And I think too, because we both come from military backgrounds, we traveled a lot. So it's difficult for me to, not difficult, I just don't allow everybody in my circle because a lot of times I know I'm not going to be there.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
some of the places that we've been, I'm still close to one or two, at least some of the people, a lot, you know, which I'm thankful for. I love them so much.
Yeah.
But at our age as an adult, and then you have a family, you have children, you just have to, sometimes you just have to allow it to naturally happen. Because I think like with you and I, it really just naturally happened. And I'm thankful.
Yeah.
I told her this, I think I told her on my birthday last year, and she was about to be towed up. I was like, God saw fit, even when I was 8 years old, and I have 3 sisters, had 2 brothers, that I needed her because we were 8 years apart.
Sick.
And I was like, he knew that I needed you.
When I read it, I was like,
and I love my sisters. Like me and one of my first best friends is my sister who's closest age to me. We're like 2 years apart, not even 2 years. But to think that I still needed her, this is my sister. She's my best friend. Absolutely. All of those things. But it was just so natural, our friendship. You have to be open to it.
That's the thing. A lot of people don't make themselves
We were
friendly.
open to it, and to the right people. Everybody can't ain't your friend.
No.
And you can't open yourself up to everybody. But you have to be open to it.
Yeah.
For it to happen the right way. And don't force it. It's just natural.
No. I feel like when you're young, it's just so easy.
Yeah.
Because there's only one criteria when you're young. Ooh, she has red crayons. Ooh, I like her notebook. Ooh, I like her. You don't have a criteria. As you get older and you gain more, not only you're gaining more in life, whether it be children or a husband or wife or, you know, business or, you know, just job and certain things like that, but you've been through so much too. So you may have been through a situation where you've had friendships break up or somebody untrustworthy. Like, people, I've read stories, honey, that just shook me to my core, like on Twitter and threads, like, this was my best friend for 20 years, and I could see she never liked me, like, stuff like that. And so you can only imagine trying to build a friendship as an adult after being hurt to that capacity. So it's just like in a relationship, you're going to be guarded.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's so difficult because people who have more to lose, you have a bigger criteria for what you need in a friend. It's not gonna be that, oh, we both look cute.
Yeah.
Oh, we both look good in pictures. Oh, this is my girl. No, ma'am. Like, can you pray? I don't need you to just be able to go out and drink and we have fun.
Understand.
We turn up, we have fun. Wonderful. But can you be with me in the trenches? Like, can you pray for me? Do you care about other people? Because I'm a stickler about that. I'm not a person that's like, oh, as long as they nice to me. No. I'm watching how you're treating people when we go to restaurants, how you treat the waitress, if you're talking to them crazy. I don't like your character. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's certain things that it's too many prerequisites now. And that's why it's more difficult to make friends as an adult. I guess my only advice would be to pray about certain connections. Like, I'm talking, you got to fast forward because actually it really is that deep. Like, people be like, it really is. Deep. No. The wrong person can turn your life upside down and have you in jail. Yeah, baby, I don't have time for much.
We don't have time for that.
So it's difficult because you have more. It's too many. Like it's just like when you get a certain job. It's gonna be easier if you get hired at McDonald's than it is for you to get hired on base. And you got to go through training. You got to get you know what I'm saying. You got to get all kind of testing and this and that. Like it's the same thing. Like when you want more or when you're expecting more, you have to expect more out of people. And sometimes it's just not that easy, especially for people who are kind of just like, you know, stay-at-home moms, which we were. Yeah, it's like if you don't have like a church or some type of outlet, yoga class or something, it's just hard. It is. And I feel like we don't do it anymore to where when we're younger, we're like, hey, you want to be friends? You know, adults don't really do that.
We don't do that.
And maybe some people should. But again, you know, it can start with, hey, let's grab lunch one day or something like that. And then you can kind of see from there. I mean, there's not no contract. You know, Cynthia, this ain't no friend contract where we got to be locked in. You know, you can decide to. I feel
like you're good with that though. Because over the years, I did many people
because
you're good at like,
I've been a
hey, you want to go do
child.
something? You want to go or whatever you want to do? You know, you're really good at that.
But that's everybody, I grew up.
And some people's not like that. And some people is me.
But you know, I don't really do that as much anymore.
Right.
I will accept the invitation, but I don't really give out.
Yeah.
Because you remember, I was just too like, oh, I like her. Let's just do this. And then it just was turned out to be so bad. I'm like, see, I got to stop. Just bring it home straight.
Yes. Not straight.
Straight. My problem. Devin over there like, leave.
Not straight.
But that's what it is. But the problem is, I grew up military. So I was a military child all the way up until high school. Yeah. So therefore, I'm always the new girl. I know how it feels to eat lunch in the bathroom. In middle school, I did it because I did not know anybody. I did not have anybody. So when I'm in different environments, and if I see somebody, like, I would literally always kind of go towards the newer people because I'm like, they're going to be able to relate to me. They know. Yeah. So like, even when I met you at church and you were not saying a word, I didn't. But my spirit connected with yours. Yeah. And I watched how you watched. Mm-hmm. Like, I saw how you observed. And I was like, okay, she's careful. She's, you know, she's not quick to just be all, hey, my name. No, she's very like, she's checking the scenery out. Like, I knew, I had no clue that me and you was going to be like this, honey, okay?
Right.
But
neither of us
we can't even tell you what our common bond was.
We're going to keep that here.
Not today. All right. But I feel like some situations are just natural. I prefer for all of my relationships to be natural. Yes. But there are relationships I've had or that I have currently, friendships where I didn't like the person when I first met him. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But really, I also didn't know him too. You know what I'm saying? Like we kind of only knew what they presented.
What we see on the, you know, on the
and I hate
outside.
when people do that to me.
Yeah.
I hate when people just see me and then assume.
Because that's
I'm like, okay, I need to stop doing that.
Because what they say, you're the mean one.
They
so
say
that's
I'm mean.
The case. And you're not.
Just because, and I literally just be mind my business. I have ADHD. I disassociate. Okay. I be at home thinking about when I went to the gym next day, what I got to do, and I'm just looking like this. And they like, you good, girl? And I'm like, oh, huh, what's up? Are you good? I be so confused because I'm like, I didn't realize that's what I'm giving off. I'm at rehearsal, but I'm at home eating dinner. I'm like, Q cooked some etouffee. Baby, I'm already at the house, so I'm sorry. So I've learned to kind of stop trying to judge people by how they, you know, come off, because people do that to me. Mm-hmm. But again, you got to pray, to be honest. You got to pray.
And you have to be open.
You have to be open. You have to show yourself friendly that you even want to make friends. Because if you come in and then if you the first person, you the last person to come in, you the first person to leave, what point does that give you to even make friends? Like, true. You know what I'm saying? You're not giving yourself an opportunity to even be in certain spaces. And if you feel like you're vibing well with a person, again, ask them to go somewhere.
That's a good one.
A little coffee date or something.
A little something.
The next one is, how do you balance being a wife and mother with all the other things you're doing? I don't. That's the answer. I'm spiraling right now, this very moment. I try, but I feel like people who try to sell you, like I told her earlier, I love balance. Yeah. So I'm always seeking it, but I have not fully attained it every day. I have to seek balance for that day. Mm-hmm. I can't try to seek balance for my whole life, because that's not how life works. Because even I just started 75 Hard. I was 10 days in. I'm having to start over again. Because when you're doing something so planned out, but your life is not, that's not realistic, you have to fight to fit it in. Yeah. So I'm like, if I miss a day, you have to start over. So because I was getting off balance, like I told her, I can always feel when a spiral was coming on. Like if I've done too much, I've been working sun up to sundown, I start spiraling because I'm like, I haven't spent time with my child, and that makes me physically ill. Mm-hmm. Or when Q's working and then he got to go here and then go to church and do this, I'm starting to feel uncomfortable because I'm like, I ain't seen my man. Like I'm starting to, and baby, I love a little cuddle. Like I am a very much, like she knows, I'm like lovey-dovey, physical touch, babe. Yeah. Like all that, the whining, I have to have it. So I don't have it all the way. I have to look at my day and say, okay, or you can say, I'm going to do this for a certain amount of time. Yeah. Like, I'm going to go make body butters. When I have a body butter day, when I have to make body butters, that takes up hours. Mm-hmm. So I know if I'm having that, then the next day I need to focus on this. Or I'm like, babe, you don't have nothing tonight, do you? You don't have this. Okay, let's watch a movie together. Yeah. Let's do this. I feel like that's the only way, is to just keep trying. I don't have.
I like what you said, that you take it day by day of the balance. Yeah. Because everybody's different. Some people think they've balanced it out for years and things have changed. Because things happen. But the day by day thing, I like that.
It has to be day by day, because if not, it's just like,
Mm-hmm.
like I can. My days are very random, like from one day to the next, and I try to plan as much as I can. But I can have a day, all the times I be like, "Girl, I'm gonna sit home. I'm gonna do my homework. I'm gonna do this," and then
she be
I get
somewhere
a phone
smelling
call.
candles.
I mean, no, okay, you ain't have to do me like that, because I show. I be at Sephora, baby. I be at TJ Maxx, Home Goods, and I'm a type like my dad is like. It's not get it from him where we don't sit still long. Okay,
You don't. I've
learned in the last few years. I really learned from her to sit down. Like it's a lot of lessons I've learned from my best friend.
We've learned from each other. For real. Like we really have.
One of them is to just stay at home. Okay. You can save much money when you are in the house sniffing candles and fragrances. Baby, I love a perfume. I'm out there like, I gotta get this. I'm sending pictures
like,
to
girl,
Q.
what you doing? Sniffing
Girl,
candles?
I'm at Dillard's looking at shoes. But I'm like my dad because he don't never sit down. And it'd be so funny because I'm like,
He
Dad,
do that
you
when
need to
he
sit
comes
down.
here. He don't never sit down. Because Jesse be like,
My
he be done playing
God,
stuff.
today.
Yes.
Oh my God. He be a stickler about, are we doing this? Are we still doing it? Simmer down.
Yes.
And I be telling him that. But
Plan to sit down.
I like,
and I be
please.
telling him, well, did you sit down? What
you do,
done?
and they be getting on my last nerve. Because I was like, girl, shut up.
No,
but then
down.
you be knowing because then I'm going to call you and be like, I am just so frustrated. I'm tired. And you be like, if you would just stay home today.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't have
say
to
this
figure out,
all.
honey. I'm not one of those. You're not going to see these a day in life and it's like this perfect aesthetic and I'm going to the gym. Yeah, I do go to the gym. I really make time for that because that is like my self-care. And that's what I feel like that keeps my mind too. Like when you are active and you walking and you just moving, like I now see why people are addicted to the gym. I would just be scrolling on Instagram, like, dang. You know how they say black people, when we see somebody running, we be like, that's what I need to be doing.
Okay.
You know how many years I did that? And I'm scrolling.
Girl,
I see people at the gym at 5 a.m. I'm like, God, man, I wish that was me. And now it is.
You're that girl.
And now it
Oh,
is.
now you are.
And now I see why. I'm like, okay, this really be keeping y'all mind. Because when I'm at the gym,
it is. Yeah.
I don't be thinking about nothing.
It
I can worry about, my day after that when I get done. Especially when you walking outside.
When they're walking on the trail. I love walking on the trail.
But yeah, balance is what balance is for you. Balance for me is it's not no planned out day every day. It's just making sure that I'm giving equal time to all of my relationships, my business, my school.
What you can on that day.
What I can give on that day. And sometimes what I give on that day is I got up and took a shower and I lay on the couch. And that's what I gave to society.
And that's about
At least I'm clean. If I ain't nothing else, I'm gonna be
And
showered,
smell
baby.
good.
Okay. I'm always smell good.
And
okay?
smell amazing. Amazing.
But thank you, best friend, for being my co-host today for Luxe Conversations. We're gonna see if we're gonna do this again. If y'all enjoy it, I'm definitely gonna have other guests. And we're just gonna have a good time. Don't forget to shop Luxecharisse.com for the best.
Say it again.
The best.
Yes.
The, like they say, the Fort Valley.
The.
The Fort Valley say. The Luxecharisse.com.
Yes.
And we will see you guys next time. Hopefully. Thank you guys so much.